What's up everybody and welcome back to the Storycraft Society. In this little bonus episode, we're going to be adding some trees to our already awesome Goblin Arrows Ambush set. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. This is the Goblin Arrows Ambush set that we've been crafting together over the last couple of weeks. If you haven't been crafting with us and you would like to, the videos for all of this stuff will be linked in the description below. But over the last couple of days, as I've been editing the other videos, I keep looking at the set and I keep saying to myself, as cool as it is, it's just missing a little something. And I think that something that it's missing is trees. So what we're gonna do in this little bonus episode is I'm gonna show you guys a quick and easy way to make a very durable tree that you can use with this set or any other set. So let's get crafting.
All right, so for our materials list, we're gonna need EPA packing foam, we're gonna need hot glue, green flock, we're gonna need our Black Magic Craft base coat, we're gonna need white glue, various craft paints, we're gonna need sifted backyard dirt, an MDF or masonite base, and then a backyard stick, just cut to size. So we're gonna start with our EPA foam. This is just the packing foam that comes in boxes. And we're going to break that up into little pieces so that only one side is flat, ideally, and then all the other sides are the little kind of circular sides. But just be careful because the little pills of foam will get everywhere, so a vacuum is pretty handy there. So now we're gonna take and put a big glob of glue on the end of our stick and glue it to our base. Now I used a masonite base here, but you could easily use a large miniature base if you have a stack of those hanging around. Those would work perfectly fine. And then just like we did in our logs video, I'll put a link to that video in the description below, we're gonna run beads of hot glue down the length of the stick and onto the base to kind of simulate roots. So next we're going to take the tip of our hot glue gun and we're going to actually run over the tops of the beads of hot glue that we put down. And what we're doing is flattening this out with the surface of the bark of the stick. That way it's going to give a smoother transition up into the actual trunk of the tree. Now it gets to the hard part. And this is definitely going to be the most time-consuming part of the build. We're going to take our little clumps of foam and we're going to start gluing those onto the tree. There's no right way or wrong way to do this, just use a lot of hot glue and then just pick a piece, put it where you think it goes and slowly build out the bulk of our tree. And once you get finished or you get to a point that you're happy with it, it should look something like this. Each tree obviously is different, but then you can move on to the next step. So now we're gonna take white glue. My choice is Eileen's tacky glue in this case, but it could be Elmer's. We're gonna paint this all over the base. This is what's going to adhere all of our ground texture for the base of our tree. You can get this over the roots, just get it all over the base, and then you're gonna move on to your sifted dirt. And we're just gonna put this, sprinkle it all over the base, and then let it dry. So after you've given that enough time to dry, you're going to take it outside, and you're gonna give it a nice good blow, a dust off to get all of the loose parts of dirt off. And then now it's time to start strengthening up the top of our tree. So in this example, I'm just using, again, white glue. I'm choosing Elmer's glue because it's a little thinner, and I'm gonna paint that all over the top of the tree. That's gonna make it a little more solid. And then now we're going, of course, once that dries, we're going in with our Black Magic Craft base coat, and now we're gonna coat the whole thing from top to bottom. Wait for that to dry and it should look like this. And then we're gonna be ready for paint. So the first paint I'm gonna use is this English Ivy green. It just needs to be a dark green, and we're gonna go over all the leaves of our tree. I'm going for 100% coverage here. Definitely try to get into all the nooks and crannies. Then once we do that, we're gonna take then a medium green. If you notice, I'm just mixing it in with the original color, swirling that together to just go one tone up from where we were before. and then I'm going to dry brush that all over the top of the tree. I'm not trying to get down into the cracks and crevices. I'm just trying to grab the leaves that are on the farthest outside edges. Then I'm actually going to take a khaki, because I wanted a more brown kind of woody look, and go up one more step with a highlight, dry brush even less this time. And once I've dry brushed over the whole thing, it looks like this, and you should have something similar. Now we're going to take a brown, and we're going to do the trunk of our tree and our roots. Then we're going to take a medium brown, and we're going to dry brush up the trunk and roots of our tree. Last, I'm going to take a khaki and a light brown and mix those together to make my final highlight as I dry brush, of course, over the trunk and the roots again. So now is when our tree is really going to come alive. We're going to take a medium green flock, and we're going to mix that into a paste using water and white glue. The paste shouldn't be too runny, but it also shouldn't be too dry. Kind of shoot for that consistency. And then we're going to spread that all over our tree. And no worries if you run out, you just mix up another little batch to finish up the rest of the tree. So when that's finished, you're going to want to let that dry overnight. Now I noticed that I had a little bit of paste left over, so I went ahead and did my ground cover also, which saved me from wasting any materials. Now, once your tree's dry, it'll obviously get a lot darker, but if you'll notice, like mine, the glue paste shrunk and left little bits of foam poking through. That's no worries, just mix up another batch and just patch all of those little holes, and it'll dry so that you can't even tell, looking like this when you're finished.
So now our set goes from no trees to trees. So here we have our trees that one-up our already awesome Goblin Arrows Ambush set and really take this thing, I think, to the next level. Our players are gonna love seeing these on the table for sure. Now, obviously, these trees are not the most realistic looking tree that you can make out there. Someone like Luke from Luke's APS or Luke from Boulder Creek Railroad would obviously make something that looks a lot more realistic. But what these trees are going to get us is years and years of gameplay because they're going to be so durable and survive lots and lots of tabletop use. If you like this video, please consider subscribing, leave a like and a comment down below. Other than that, I have nothing else to say other than until Thursday, I'll be seeing you.